My rare condition caused my accent to change. I had a Midlands accent my whole life.
See a bit more of the blonde in it, and when I'm like, woo, it was very like white.
And I woke up with a Newcastle accent.
This isn't actually like my original accent.
I didn't know what was happening. I was absolutely terrified. People regularly call me a liar or say that I'm faking it for attention. People have laughed in my face, they've shouted at me. I've had vile comments.
I'm really struggling to deal with it right now.
This is my antidepressant venlafaxine because my brain's malfunctioning, so that's why I have to take it. I have functional neurological disorder and foreign accent syndrome. I'm trying to beat a sandwich.
Yes, please.
Yes, perfect. FND is where the brain and nervous system isn't connected properly. The messages that should be going to your body don't always go there. Watch my bones. It affects me personally with horrendous migraines. I get paralysis where like my left hand goes like curled up and my left leg and foot doesn't work.
So like I can't really, no, that's probably the most I can move it. And then my leg, that's like as much as I can lift it. Oh, and it hurts.
I would say my migraines got severely worse when I was about 14. It was literally like every day. I black out when I have my seizures, so I'd like wake up and I'm like being sick. It can be that severe that I end up in hospital for days.
She was having up to 13 seizures a day, and it's been really, really scary at times. And then she gets paralysed on her left side, so that's why she can't work.
With my paralysis and speech loss, I'll be trying to pronounce a word and I just can't get it out. And then next thing you know, I just can't speak.
Speech is
You try and say something. What's your name?
It affected my confidence massively because now I can't really go anywhere on my own. It just completely took all my independence away.
I'm really struggling to deal with it right now. 26 years old, like it should be the best time of my life, and instead like I'm just poorly all the time.
Completely changed me as a person, really. Changed my life entirely. No treatments have ever worked. I've tried every single medication that you can think of. You just have to take each day as they come and do what you can. A migraine attack can happen at any point. So there's two things I always take everywhere with me. First one is my migraine TENS machine. Stick it on here. It kind of like pulsates and it's like it's fighting against the migraine pain. And then the other one, it's a really strong ibuprofen. When it does work, it can really, really help the pain. You hungries? If you look at me, it looks like there's nothing wrong with me, but anything can happen at any time. And then obviously with the accent, that was like really, that was a massive change because it was like I was a completely different person.
So I'm gonna show you a video of what I used to sound like, my old accent. I don't know, obviously you know the placement better than me, but it's just so that like you can see a bit more of the blonde in it, and when I'm like, woo.
I believe that FND was the cause of my foreign accent syndrome.
It probably needs doing again, but it's kind of reddish, so they were like, oh no, you're lying, haha. And I was like, oh no, swear down, serious.
I could see like the aura, like my vision going for a migraine. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to bed, just sleep it off. And when I woke up, my speech had gone. And as it was coming back, all I could hear was just somebody else. You hungry, Max? So I went to the doctor's and she just went. I was terrified, I started crying. I didn't know who I was, I'd lost my identity. People that I'd known for so long, like I start speaking and they're like, it's like meeting everybody for the first time again. God, this is like,
when her accent changed and we were in the doctor's and she suddenly came out with this different accent, I admit me and the doctor were like so shocked that we actually started laughing because we didn't quite know how to deal with it. Unless you'd been there, you would not believe it. After the accent changed, straight away, she couldn't say mom, it was ma'am. And then when she came to text me, she realised that her brain wouldn't let her text mom, it was ma'am. I say no, she says no. And the doctor said, have you ever been up there? Nope.
It's changed my inner monologue. When I dream, I'm a Geordie. It was as if it was like always meant to happen. The one I'm going to show you now, I did like a little story time thing, and it was the first one I ever posted.
Tell me something about yourself that nobody believes.
I was absolutely terrified of posting it, but it just went mad. It went like viral. And I wasn't expecting it at all because I didn't have like any followers. I've never posted before. This next video is the comparison. So the first part of it is my accent now.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it, so enjoy.
And then I show my accent before.
Of not putting all of them in, just putting like a few in.
Someone was like, this is actually so scary, so no one's got any answers for why this has happened. I want to spread awareness for the condition online because I want to stop stigmas. The misconceptions is just all that they all think I'm faking it, and I'm not. The negative comments are horrible, really affected my confidence because I didn't ask for any of this to happen to me. There's always going to be people out there that don't understand and don't agree and have their own opinions, but I would prefer it if they kept it themselves. I always think that it says a lot more about them than it does me.
So Rosie, it's really good to see you again. It's been a while since I've seen you.
I know, it's been so long.
Why don't you catch me up a bit on how things have been going?
But it's just been,
The same as usual, the loss of speech, the accent's obviously still here. I'm not working anymore at the minute. I sleep a lot, my fatigue's got really, really bad recently.
I met Professor Edwards by actually going on the telly and talking about my condition before. He worded things in a way that I could understand and people without FND and FES can understand as well.
The foreign accent syndrome is something that can happen as part of the kind of same thing that's gone wrong in the brain that causes your paralysis and your tremor. That's a real thing that's happening.
Why do you think there was that stigma of like people faking FND? Because I've had people say it to me and they've seen my symptoms. Like I even had a paramedic say that he thought I was faking my seizures.
It's just lack of knowledge and sometimes just an assumption that if scan is normal, then the only explanation is that it's just pretend.
I think that's such a nice way you've put it, like just because it looks different doesn't mean it's not happening. I'm loads more confident now I have the diagnosis when dealing with ignorant and nasty people because it's like having a leg to stand on. It was important because it was like proof that, it can happen. This is why it's happening. It's on my medical records, like it's real. So shut up. It wouldn't have been as easy without you, definitely not.
So yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure and, all credit to you for keeping going through all of this. Thanks so much, Rosie.
Thank you. Yeah, and you. Bye. Bye. Go on. My mum's love and support has been so important and she's honestly kept me going. Like, she's my rock. I don't know what I would have done without her. I think as my confidence has grown, so has hers. It's like we've kind of beaten it together. She's never let me feel lonely with my disability. Every time going to the hospital, you've always been there. Every time seeing doctors, consultants, specialists, you've always been there.
Yeah. I'm so proud of her, the way she's come through it and the way she copes and accepts that she is different, but sometimes different's good.
My hopes and goals and ambitions for the future is to carry on raising awareness, not just for my own disability, but for other people's. I think it's so important, like the amount of horrible comments I've had off people has been crazy, and I don't want that to happen for anyone else. I feel like the best way to get through something isn't to go around it, it's to go through it, it's to deal with it and to accept that this is happening. Just keep going, be proud of yourself, and remember that life is really worth living.